Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog about the seaman life. Many people have asked me over the years, what is a seafarer's contract? The terms and conditions, how it works, who is paying for what, and everything that you need to know about this type of contract. Maybe you are a cadet, deck or engine, maybe you are a rating who will soon be joining the vessel, or maybe you have nothing to do with the seaman life and you are just curious. So this is what we are talking about today. I will explain all the details about a seafarer's contract. First of all, let me tell you that all the crew members that you see in my vlogs or any other vlog about the seaman life has a qualification in a duty. He has signed a contract to come on board that vessel. If it's either a chief cook or a fitter or an electrical officer like me, you are certified that you are allowed to come on board. We are not some stray cats and dogs who just happen to be on board the vessel and we are traveling the world for free. No, we are qualified in doing a certain duty. Every crew member has a qualification and he has to have experience. If you are only a cadet, that is okay as well, but also cadets have studies that certify he is an aspiring or a junior engineer or a junior deck officer, and after he is completing his cadetship 12 months, then he can become that full engineer or deck officer. So each crew member is signing a contract before joining the actual vessel, and that contract will begin its full effect the moment you are departing from your home, and it will last until you have finished it and you have arrived back in the airport of your country. Sometimes the airport, it is not in your city where you are actually living, but that is your concern. The contract will end there, and from the airport you have to go by yourself with your own money to your home. The contract will end. Of course, there are many factors that you have to take in consideration, like the nationality of the seafarer, the principal that you are joining, the type of vessel that you are joining, or the crewing manager that you will be joining, and so on. Let me give you an example to make myself clear so you can understand better. Let's take, for example, Filipino seafarers, because they make for most of the crew around the world of any type of vessel. And for the Filipino seafarers, usually the contract starts the moment they are passing the immigration. They are usually departing from Manila, which is the capital of Philippines, and the contract will start from there. But many seafarers do not live in Manila. They are coming from some faraway island. So in the meantime, they are not paid. But for European contracts, it is like I was saying at the beginning, the contract will start the moment you are departing from your home. So if you are coming from some faraway place and you have to go to the capital airport, you are still paid. And the worst type of contract, from my point of view, is the one that states that your pay will start the moment you are joining the vessel. So like we had this pandemic for about 2.5 years. You are coming from some place and you have to join the vessel on another continent. So you have about 2-3 days of traveling, and then before joining the actual vessel you have to stay in a hotel for 3-4 days to wait for your COVID test. And during those days the company will pay for your accommodation, your food, your hotel room, but you would not receive any salary. So that is not a good situation, but that is another type of contract which you can sign. So you have to be very careful before you sign what you are actually signing. And another example with another type of contract, which I was already discussing earlier, is the type of contract that starts its full effect the moment you are departing from your home. So you have to travel all the way to another continent, like I had to travel from Rome, Italy, all the way to Lima in Peru. That is a 14 hours flight. Then I had to stay in the hotel for about 5 days because I had to do 2 COVID tests, one on arrival and one just before joining the vessel. And during that time I was paid like it was a work day. So I was getting full accommodation, the meals, 2 meals per day, and the salary was in full effect like I was already on board the vessel. Sometimes there is a situation that the vessel has some technical difficulties and there are more delays before it's actually arriving in the port. And if you have this type of contract, you are still getting paid even though you are sitting in the hotel. That is not your fault. That is the problem of the crew, that they have to bring the ship to the port. So you are getting paid. And that is the best contract from my point of view. Of course, this type of contract will end the moment you are arriving in the airport of your home country, not in your hometown. If you are not living in the capital of your country, then the contract will end the moment you are inside the airport of your home country, and then you have to travel with your own money all the way to your hometown, and there is no more contract. You don't have any more medical insurance and you are on your own, and that's it. But still, even so, from my point of view, this is the best contract that you can have. If you have the possibility to sign this type of contract, you should go for it. No matter what type of contract you have, from the ones that I have described earlier, all your expenses will be reimbursed by the company the moment you step foot on board the vessel at the end of the month, together with your contract for that month. Sometimes you have to stay in the hotel, all your accommodation, food, taxi, or maybe sometimes you have to join in the Mississippi River in USA or in Indonesia on some river, and that time maybe the ship will not come inside the port, it will stay in the anchor somewhere on that river, and you have to join by boat. So that is another expense, and all your expenses will be reimbursed by the company whenever you are coming on board, and all this traveling will be arranged by an agent which is hired by the vessel, and that agent will take care of everything. Just make sure that whenever you have to pay from your own pocket, if the agent is not already with you, like I had to take a taxi by myself from the Heathrow airport in London. I had to take a taxi to go to the hotel by myself with my own money. If this happens to you when you are coming on board for the first time, just make sure you save all the receipts. Save them, and whenever you are coming on board, when you will join that vessel, scan them and make a full report about your expenses and give it to the captain. And I can assure you that you will receive all your money back at the end of that month. But usually this is a rare case, and usually the agent will take care of all your expenses. You do not have to spend your own money. But just in case this happens, it is good to have $300-400 in your pocket when you are joining the vessel, just for such a case. I was telling you earlier about an agent. Of course, I am not talking about some FBI agent or some James Bond type of agent. That is not the case. An agent is a guy who is working for a company which was hired by your crewing company in the city that you will be joining the vessel. So this company will send a person who will take care of you. That is an agent, a ship agent, so to say. That agent will take care of everything, and he will make sure that you are safe from the moment you are stepping foot in the airport until you are arriving to the vessel. So he will take care of immigration, he will pay any hotel for you, any medical facility if you need, like a COVID test or anything like that, or if you have some medical problems from the moment you are stepping inside that airport. And he will make sure that you are safe and you are arriving on board the vessel without any problems. He will take care of all the expenses. So the moment you step foot in the airport that you will be joining the vessel, you have to look for this person. Usually he will have a sign in his hand with either your name or both your name and the ship name, or sometimes it's just the ship name. So make sure that before you join the airplane, just look in the contract. If you are not sure, if you are coming for the first time on board, just make sure that you remember the name of the vessel that you will join. And when you are arriving in that airport, look for this person. He will not have a photo with you, he will just have a name. So just look for this person and make sure you stay in contact with him all the time, because you will be in a foreign country, most likely you will not know that language, and he will take care of you. You cannot go by yourself. Let's talk about the length of the seafarer's contract. You have to take in consideration the nationality of the seafarer and the rank that he will be working on that ship. If we are talking about the nationality of the seafarer, if he is European, if he's either an officer or a rating, the contract will vary between 3 to 6 months. If we are talking about Asian seafarers, if they are Asian officers, the contract will be 5 to 6 months. If we are talking about ratings from Asia, the contract will be 9 months. All the contracts that I have described have plus minus 1 month. That means, depending on the port that the vessel is trading, you may stay on board. If you are a rating from Asia, you may stay on board between 8 to 10 months. It really depends on the area where the ship is trading. So you may go home earlier, or they may delay you if there are any difficult ports to sign off from. Like from Nigeria, it's more difficult to sign off. And there are many other ports that have difficulty with the agency and the immigration, and it's not possible to sign off at 9 months. So you may be delayed. But that is something that you have to take in consideration when you are signing the contract. Just be careful what you are signing. Read carefully how many months your contract length will be. Also, you have to take in consideration the type of ship that the seafarers are working. If we are talking about a liner, which is a container ship or a ro-ro car ship, this type of ships have pre-established ports. So the crewing agent knows exactly on which date this type of ship will be. So it's easier for them to arrange a crew change. But if you are working on bulk carriers or tankers like I do, then this type of ship does not have pre-established ports. They are only hired from one port to another, and it's very difficult for the manning agent to arrange a crew change. Plus, in the last 2.5 years, because of the pandemic, many ports were closed, so the length of the contract was not actually the one that I have described earlier. It was always delaying by 1 month. But this was an unusual situation, and there was understanding from both sides, both the seafarer and the manning agent. But you have to take in consideration, like I was saying, if you are coming on board a chemical tanker, that most of the time we discharge the cargo in remote areas, like on rivers or places that are far away from civilization, on a jungle or somewhere like that. So it is very expensive for the crewing company to do a crew change. So that is why you have the plus 1 month on your contract length. If you are in some type of area like that, for sure in the next month you will be in a port which is convenient for the company. But regarding the previous situation with the pandemic, we had no control over that, and like I was saying, we were understanding. But maybe you are wondering that the company will give you a bonus if you extend your contract. Unfortunately not. That it is a very rare case. 99.99% of the companies will not give you any bonus. That is a very, very rare case. Most of the time, because of the circumstances that you are in a difficult port for crew change, they will give you a 1-month extension. You will sign a 1-month extension to your contract, like an addition, and you will receive your normal salary for another month. And they are hoping that in that month the ship will be in a good port and they will do crew change for you. But do not rely on that you will receive any bonus. And this was the situation during the pandemic. They were extending the contracts because the ports were closed or there were no flights from different countries, so this was an exception. But usually they will do crew change on time, most of the time. Also, I have been asked on the channel by some people if the seafarers receive any money while at home. In principle, that is a no. There are some companies which are giving money to the seafarers when they are home, but those type of seafarers are rare and they usually sign a permanent contract with a length of 2 years. But you have to sit on your vacation at home for only 2 or 3 months. Then you have to join the ship again. Unlike me or most seafarers, we have a vacation for as long as we want. You just stay on board for your contract. If you are European for 5 months, if you are Asian 9 months, and then you stay home as much as you like, as much as you can afford it, better said. And I prefer it that way. So seafarers do not receive any money while at home. Most of the seafarers, if they do not have a permanent contract with an owner. Whenever you are coming on board, you will notice some practices that shipping companies are doing, or maybe you have heard from other seafarers. Some companies will take a leave pay from your first salary on the first month. It's about 10% of your salary. So they will keep that 10% until your contract is ending, and you will receive all your money at the end of the contract when you will sign off from the vessel. I don't know why they do this. If you ask my personal opinion, I think it's because if you are doing any problems on board, they will pay the airplane ticket to send you home from your own pocket, from your own money. That is my opinion. I don't know really why they are doing that, but it does not seem fair to me. If I am working 1 month, I want to be paid 1 month. I don't want to work 1 month and be paid for 20 days. But that is the practice, and you have to be sure when you are signing your contract what is this. So be careful what you are signing. Seafarers are paid on a monthly basis, usually at the end of the month or at the beginning of the next month. We are paid for a whole month, for 30 days, and we receive the salary in our bank account. They do not give anything on board, only if you want some cash advance from the captain whenever you are going for shore leave. That is about $50 or $100 maximum. They don't give you thousands of dollars on board because the captain usually does not have a lot of money, cash on board the ship. So we receive the salary on a monthly basis in an account. So most of the time seafarers do not even see the money that they are working for. Their family are enjoying the money at home, and we enjoy the money when we are coming on vacation. It also depends on the rank that you are working and your lifestyle, of course. If you are a rating with $1,000 per month, I do not think that you can afford to stay for a long time at home. But if you are an officer, a chief engineer, a captain, which have a big salary, especially if you are working on tankers, then you can afford to stay for more months on vacation at home to enjoy the time with your family. At the end of the contract, each seafarer will receive an evaluation form. If you are part of the deck crew, you will be evaluated by the chief officer and the captain. If you are part of the engine crew, you will be evaluated by the second engineer and the chief engineer. And depending on the evaluation, if it's a good one, the next form that you will receive will be when is your readiness, when you want to come back to the ship. If you are not good at your job and you have been causing problems on board, you are drunk all the time, or you are starting fights with the crew members, most likely you will not be hired by this company. It only depends on you. Another question that I have received on my channel from curious people was, seafarers can choose their ship that they are joining? Unfortunately not. Actually, it depends on the rank. If you are a rating, like an AB or a feeder or a chief cook, the competition is stiff, so to say. There are a lot of people working on these ranks. So most likely you will accept any vessel that they give you just to have a job. But if you are an experienced chief engineer or an experienced captain, then the company may give you the opportunity to choose the vessel that you are working on. But this situation is like a devil's pact, if you know what I mean. Like for example, they will give you a good vessel this time, a new vessel, so you will not have a lot of work, only paperwork, so it will be easy money, so to say. But next time, maybe they will give you a 30 years old ship or a scrap vessel, and they will keep you 7-8 months on board when your contract was only 4 months. So it is something that you have to think about whenever you see that they are giving you an opportunity. It's not actually 100% in your favor, so be careful about that. It's a free market, like you already know. If you don't know, I'm telling you now. So if you have an option and you find your position in another company but with $500 or $1,000 more, of course it is your option to go to that company and make a lot of money. That is one of the reasons why I never accept to sign a permanent contract, which I was telling you earlier, which has a length of 2 years. In 2 years you have a fixed salary, but if you work like me with an individual contract, whenever you are joining a vessel you have a salary. Then next time you can negotiate to have a bigger salary, or you join another company. So it's only up to you what you want to work for. That is my personal opinion. Everybody is free to choose where they want to go. If you are a cadet or a rating and you will be coming on board soon for your first time, be careful what you are signing. Try to search on the internet about the vessel that you will be joining, and be careful, very careful what you are signing, because once you are on board, it will be very difficult to go home. And if you are making any problems and you do not fulfill your full length of the contract, you have to pay your own airplane ticket and the person who will replace you. So you have to pay his airplane ticket, his hotel and your airplane ticket, and all the expenses will be from your account. So be careful what you are signing, and always have the full information before you join a vessel. So that is my explanation about the contract of a seafarer. If you are coming on board anytime soon as a cadet or as a rating, I hope that I have answered all your questions. In case I forgot something, I am human, I make mistakes. Please leave a comment in the section down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and maybe you want to subscribe to the channel. I will keep posting interesting stuff about the seaman life. If you have additional questions, I wait for you in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you next time on the channel. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.